Mounce, BBG, Chapter 16, Sentence 5. All right, this one, he kind of gives it to you. You kind of figure the subject's going to be there with that definite article right at the beginning. So in this case, it's actually a substantival participle, but he gives it to you, and it's the one who is. As a participle, it would be something like the one being, but no big deal there. But that's your subject. So the one being from God, and again, ek can be out of, out from any of those, and generally going to take the genitive. So with your genitive, you're going to lose your keyword because it's the object of a preposition. Here, the preposition ek. So the one being from God is sort of your subject clause. And then you've got this tahremata, the words of God, as another clause. But the deal here is you look at the inflection here and you say, well, I recognize phrema as phremata. It's a mot stem noun, so that tells me that it's third declension neuter, and that as soon as I know that it's third declension neuter, I know that alpha tells me that it's either a plural, nominative, or accusative. So you're trying to figure out whether it's nominative or accusative. Well, guess what? You've already figured out the subject. So already knowing that this is the subject tells me that this has got to be accusative and therefore the direct object of the sentence. So again, the words of God, and then you have your verb. And if you did it like I did it, where you did oase hominideuses, you go oase, well, there's your A. If you just learned it as an iota ending, well, that should tell you the same thing, that it's from akuo, which is I hear. The iota ending tells you that it's third singular, in which case it's he, she, or it hears. And again, that lines up with the subject because that's going to take a third singular verb. So the one being from God, or the one who is from God, hears, because there's your verb, and then you're going to put your direct object clause, the words of God. So again, the trick there is to take each chunk. There's again your subject clause, there's your object clause, and there's your verb, and just take the verb and stick it in the middle, which is really the way to play that game. So again, the one who is from God hears the words of God. Very common error that I see related to this is, for one reason or another, everybody wants to translate this as a singular. And again, if you know that it's a mot stem, you know it's third declension. So third declension neuter. And as soon as you know it's third declension neuter, as soon as you see the alpha, it's plural. It's plural, nominative, or accusative. In this case, accusative. Okay, so the one who is from God hears the words of God, and then diatuto, Mounce says it's an expression for for this reason. I would say you're just as well off to stick closer to what it actually says and say because of this, with dia because of and tuto this. Help me understand the difference. So, but anyway, because of this, and then plural second person pronouns. So you got y'all, and then ook. Not, and then if you remember that tau epsilon always is second person plural, which would line up with the y'all, but again you have a not, so it's because of this or for this reason y'all do not hear. Okay, and he's asking a reason, so if you were to try to figure out whether hati is that or because, he's just saying for this reason, or he's giving it because of this. Well, because of why? Because, and here's his reason, because from God, not y'all are. So again, if you're going to do the little gymnastics with it, you're going to say, because y'all are not from God. And again, ektu theu, from God. All right? So, but you've got the not, and then you've got the second person plural again. And again, as soon as you see tau epsilon on a verb or a theta epsilon, either one of those combinations, you know you're dealing with a second person plural. But again, he's got to do that because he's got the y'all up here in the first clause, and he's just lining his verbs up to make sure that there's agreement. Okay, so for this reason, y'all do not hear, because y'all are not from God.